Minnesota and get him in serious foul trouble.
Avery Johnson from 17. The double of Duncan. The open shot for Avery.
Perimeter opportunities so far.
Duncan, the low block, the MVP candidate, turns away from the double team over Garnett for the bucket. Games he played for Minnesota this year. He is 5th in the league in assists. Here's a Minnesota foul.
Well, these are the kinds of fouls that Garnett does not want to get in. Garnett has got something to say right here, but this is all talk.
No need for that on Kevin Garnett's part.
He was right in Tim Duncan's face, and Hugh Hollins had to separate them, and now talking to Tim Duncan. Louis Grillo, David Jones, and Hugh Hollins are the officials for today's game.
Flip Saunders trying to calm Kevin Garnett down.
They've got the mental resiliency that make them a different team. But this team that they're playing this afternoon, it has no fear of them.
He misses. Duncan with his second straight offensive board. That's one thing Flip Saunders did not want. And finally, Ellie makes them pay.
An emotional boost for this Spurs team. They call him Grumbles because he's so frustrated whenever the team plays. Poor player Jaren Jackson.
Garnett back on track with that one. Long range.
Cleveland and Milwaukee games that I missed, Steve. Sorry.
He went with Cleveland to the playoffs 4 of his 6 years there.
Team here.
They trail by 2.
Well, credit Minnesota with a good game plan and some good energy. Tim Duncan comes in.
Inside to Duncan on the low block. Turns, hits.
Very productive for Flip Saunders.
Duncan picks it up after it was knocked away from Mario Ellie.
And maybe luck is going to be the difference in winning or losing this ball game. Garnett.
Right over Duncan. Duncan had his hands in the air.
Looking for Garnett. And, you know, what's interesting about this matchup as he just blows by is they both
stars, both wearing number 21. Garnett fall away. Got it. Quickly double team. Garnett rejected and took it down. Duncan, Garnett leaning on him. Quick spin back the other way. Double teamed him. Blocked by Garnett. That's his 5th.
Dominate a lot of people, but he's had a rough time this afternoon with Garnett. Garnett got a piece of that one. Proved that he can consistently make that shot as Avery Johnson has. Johnson trying to fire.
Oh, Duncan.
Above the rim, Steve.
That was impressive. Double team. He fights up and draws the foul.
This game is not over.
Just over 2 minutes left in the third, and Duncan works his way to the rim.
17 in the third. Points hard to come by.
Got a screen from Duncan. Blocked. But then recovering Duncan to put it home.
Brandon very patient at the point, working the left side. Now to Garnett. Faces up on Duncan. Takes that soft 15-footer rimming off. David. Shot off by Elliott. Garrett with a nice pass. Interior. Left side to Garnett. The follow-away jumper good for Kevin. Right now. But only trailing by 3. Garnett again rimming one off. Quick stint for Purdue, who is out. Duncan and Robinson are in with Jackson, Elliott, and Johnson.
I'd say that the Spurs are playing right into Flip Saunders' hand because it's very sloppy for the Spurs on the offensive end as Garnett finally gets some deep position.
Wolves have a 4-point lead, trying to slash in. Elliott will give it off to Duncan. They immediately double him with Brandon.
As you can see, the matchup on the other end, Garnett and Duncan. This time Garnett gets pretty low position. 1, 2 dribbles, a little fake to the baseline, unstoppable.
8 on the shot clock. Duncan will take it 15 feet from the hole. Look at this drive. Couldn't finish. 31-24, Minnesota by 7. Duncan. Drop, step, spin, baseline. Again, they bring the double team on the left side quickly and force Duncan into the turnover. At the top to erase the shot, but Elliott with a recovery. Garnett steps up and rejects Duncan. 7 San Antonio points in the quarter. Another Minnesota turnover. Duncan. Get 14 points in the winning game 1. Kevin Garnett faces up, and an 18-footer, nothing but silk.
It's good, but make sure you execute the play because it just turns things around as far as momentum is concerned.
Johnson with 10. Garnett fouled as he tripped up coming through a double team.
Well, Garnett's ability to face up and shoot this jumper really opens up things for him when he does post up. Smarter team than we saw in game 1.
Garnett with a sensational underhand scoop delivery to Dean Garrett for the sweeping reverse.
Says, look, we don't have anything. Let's get a shot, and there it is.
Garnett missing. Duncan sealing him off for the rebound. Duncan in the early offense backs down Smith, lays him out, steps over him, and lays it up and in.
Here's, Robinson on the travel. Here's Tim Duncan just plowing over Smith.
They're going to try Steve Kerr. Defensively, he's a liability. Let's see if they go to the mismatch. Here's Garnett for the jumper short.
That should allow the Spurs to get on transition game for easy buckets.
Garnett takes steps. The 11th Minnesota turnover. 5 before succumbing. Here's Johnson to Duncan. And immediately the double. Look at Duncan bothered. Fell with the ball. Finds Kerr.
He's struggling moment.
Heck, his dad was a bodyguard for Malcolm X. He grew up in the Bronx. Kerr, Minnesota Timberwolves 60-51.
Well, Kevin, this is the quarter where men become boys.
Duncan with a right-hand hook on the low block. Rejected by Garnett. Goaltending the call. Give Duncan the bucket.
Well, Garnett's got to make a decision. He did a pretty good job of forcing Duncan into a tough shot. Goaltending. You don't want to give away points.
Points for Duncan. Here's the pick and slip, and Garnett. Look at the extension with a right hand over Duncan, and a tremendous find by Terrell Brandon.
7 feet 4 inches when he spreads that arm out.
Now Duncan goes to work. Backs into a double team. Throws outside Elliott. Pump fakes. Duncan with it with 8 on the shot clock. One dribbling up with the left hand. They're going to the man. Tim Duncan. Point lead for Minnesota. 7 on the shot clock. Garnett. Rather than shooting, trying to pass to Smith, and that's what got him into trouble in the second half of game 1.
All right, here we go. Here's Terrell Brandon into Garnett on his prior move before the turnover, just extending.
And to scramble back into this thing. Malik Rose with the ball at the top. Duncan again with it, left side. Look at the big shot from 15. A sweet little smooch. Virgin Islands, Tim Duncan, and riding him to within 5 points.
And there's Tim Duncan with a nice little jump hook. And then he shows you that the bank is open, the ATM card is working, no insufficient funds for Tim Duncan.
62-57 and a key possession for Minnesota with the lead. Having a step in low and his way through the double team. Kevin Garnett to the glass.
Particularly when they need to keep possession of the basketball and not turn it over.
Here's Duncan on his way to the rim. Challenged at the top, and the shot blocked, but Duncan got it back. He ripped it away from Smith and laid it up and in. So then back come the Spurs.
Well, earlier in this quarter, you see Duncan being abused by Garnett, and then back on the other end of the court, Duncan comes right back. Double your fun, hustle, Duncan.
64-60, Minnesota with the lead in the basketball. 8 on the shot clock for Kevin. To Dean Garrett out of the corner. Air ball, but grabbed out of midair. And on the shot clock for Minnesota. Timberwolves holding on to a slim 4-point lead. Garnett on his way to the rack. Fall away, jumper over. Duncan won't go, but there's Garrett with the offensive rebound.
Offense in the paint, nice finger roll.
70-66 is Garnett again. Pump fakes, might have walked. Nice pass to Garrett inside and fouled. He will operate with 14 on the shot clock.
He's hot. He's hot.
Oh,
he's feeling it.
Man.
He's feeling it.
That is playoff basketball. Tim Duncan tried to throw low to Robinson. Garnett in on the play again to deflect it away to Brandon. And rushes off the Garnett pick. Garnett will pop out one-on-one. Spread floor on Duncan. He'll face it. He'll fire. That one was deep in the well, but popped out.
And can't hit. Rebound Duncan. And it's tied at 4. Brandon caught in midair. Now to Garnett is a good outside shooter. The big man can hit from.
Gets the team going. He can create his own shots.
Elliott at Duncan. Back to Mario Ellie. Duncan inside to Robinson. It's batted away.
For Joe Smith and the Timberwolves. Now another guy to compete up front with the men in the paint with Kevin Garnett.
Duncan down low, and Garnett with another rebound. And here,
As opposed to the irregular regular season.
Garnett working on Duncan, and Duncan fouls him. And Duncan wide-eyed at the call. But boy, what a first step by Kevin Garnett.
No matter who they focused on, Jordan was still going to get his. Jabbar the same way. Wilt.
Garnett against Duncan. And Duncan with a rebound.
Duncan's playing a very disciplined defensive game.
It is carved to just 5. 3, 2, 1, and Garnett misses, and that's the quarter. You hope to keep them?
Yeah, I would like to keep them, and we like them both. We think that they both can help us a lot, and we got to
see David Robinson this angry very often.
Now Garnett is in Duncan's ear, and that's uncalled for by Kevin Garnett.
Could possibly get the third on the Admiral.
Don't settle for anything on the perimeter.
Garnett fires from outside, but it comes right back to him. His early play sparking Minnesota to a 12-point lead in the first quarter. Garnett unable to get another to fall. He's 2 for 11 in the game.
Back off and turn him to the middle here where the help is.
Duncan on the drive and gets the friendly bounce and the foul. 2 of the starters for the Wolves with 4 fouls. Garrett and Smith. Here's Garnett. Joe Smith. After that wonderful first quarter that plays Flip Saunders 55% against the best defensive team in the country, and a travel call goes against Kevin Garnett. Double bounce.
Philadelphia is a terrific team. Larry Brown is fabulous. I'm looking forward to Indiana, Philadelphia, Iverson, Geiger, Theo Ratliff. And then on the same play with the over-the-head look, finding that seam. When you're scoring, they were 6 and 8 and ready to string up Greg Popovich.
Garnett between the 2 towers sets it off to Nesterovich. Nice underhanded feed.
He's got the hot hand.
Made all 3 shots in this quarter. Tough catch. And a foul as in on the 2-minute mark, third quarter.
And they call him soft.
Garnett driving into Robinson, and the foul will... That's right. And circus will continue tomorrow. 2 shows. Terrell Brandon hoping to have business in San Antonio on Monday night.
And Tom Hamlin and Sam Mitchell, they have to play well.
Kevin Garnett jumping into Duncan and draws the foul. 10 points.
The way these Spurs have all accepted their roles as they've added enough talent to be championship competitors.
Garnett, a little razzle-dazzle, and Joe Smith able to save it by batting the ball off the leg of a Spur.
And again here.
Robinson and Garnett. Avery Johnson. Look at them swing the ball around, and it's Ellie with a setup to Duncan, and he can't slam it. Ball comes back to Ellie, and Robinson lays it in. And the fans wanted a foul, and so did Coach Flip Saunders.
Run in him.
Garnett not afraid to shoot it. Mitchell with a good offensive rebound, blocked by Robinson, and ahead to Duncan. And he is fouled.
The defense for San Antonio. 2 superstars and then a plethora of role players.
Duncan backing in over Garnett. Rebound Peeler.
Dig it out defensively.
Terrell Brandon. Rebound by Duncan.
Now they'll run some clock here. Make them foul. They got a foul.
That'll do it. Congratulations to Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs, a team that was totally out of